Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you're having a good day. It's a nice sunny Friday, long weekend. Not too many people around right now in Vancouver. I kind of love that. Vancouver gets really quiet on the long weekends and such a beautiful place. So it's nice to hang out here on the long weekends. So I thought I'd get on here and do a little talk before I take off from the studio to get on with the rest of my day. And I thought I would talk about feeling insecure about your body because I know a lot of you probably do. I know that I do. I used to really have a lot of issues with that, and it's something that's pretty common among people. Even those people that seem really confident, they probably have their own body issues as well. So I thought I'd talk about that and what to do to help combat that. And this kind of came to me because one of my check-ins with my coach, I had done my measurements and my weight, and I was feeling a little frustrated. There were no changes in my measurements, and even though people have been telling me that I'm looking great, it looks like I've lost weight and my clothes are fitting looser, when I stepped on the scale, it showed a gain in weight, and that just wrecked my day, which was stupid. I know better than to weigh myself and let that have so much power. But I just felt really frustrated, and I voiced it to my coach. I let her know how I was feeling, and she responded in such a great way. So it really helped me to kind of take a breath, come back to reality, and not worry so much about that scale. But we all have insecurities. Well, I can't say everybody does. You can't just make a blanket statement like that, but I would hazard to guess that the majority of people do. So what are you going to do when you're feeling insecure about your body? Hey, Lewis, how's it going? Hi, John. So the first thing you need to do, and this is a toughie, is for a lot of people, is to learn to love your body. And I know that's a lot easier to say than to do, and I know this because of my own struggles. But once you figure out a way to love your body, things just get so much better. You're so much happier. When you hate your body, you are miserable because your body is what you're presenting to people every single day. And when you hate yourself that much and you're that insecure, it can mess with your mind. So it can really make your life miserable. So the challenge to you, if you find that you're feeling this way, is when you find something you're feeling insecure about and you catch yourself insulting yourself, you got to come up with two good things about your body. So for instance, my issue was that I put muscle on really easily, and I already kind of carry fat easily as well. So I had big legs. Like for me, my legs were like huge. They were like ginormous, and I was really insecure about that. So rather than focusing on the size of them, I've changed my mindset and remind myself of all the great things that my muscular, strong legs allow me to do. So you got to find some positive stuff. You just have to get your mind used to thinking in a positive way rather than always a negative way. And it takes some time to train your mind to do that, especially if you've been negative for a while. So be ready to work on that. Don't think it's going to happen right away or happen overnight. You got to work on it, and eventually it does come a lot easier. Hey, Michael, how's it going? Next one, keep in mind that everyone feels insecure at times. So, you might be looking at another person and think, oh, wow, they have the perfect body, but it's almost guaranteed that that person has some sort of insecurity about certain areas. So, it's not just you. It's easy to think that it's just you when you're going through something that's making you miserable, but I almost can guarantee that everyone has some sort of insecurities. So, using my legs again as an example, I always felt that they were too big and they were masculine. I used to have guys tell me that they wish that they had my calves. I'm thinking, what? I have man legs? Like, what? Why do they want calves like mine? They're men. So it was, I was pretty insecure about that. But then over the years, I've gotten so many compliments from men and women about how strong and muscular my legs are, that I was able to realize that this is a positive thing. This is my body, and people are admiring something that I really didn't like. I was very, very insecure. I still can't buy jeans. I can never buy a pair of jeans. They will never fit over my thighs unless they're super baggy in the waist. So I can't find jeans to fit my body. So that was another thing that added to my insecurity. It's like, I can't even find pants to fit. Like, what's wrong with me? But that was that negative thinking. And then over the years, having the positive reinforcement from, friends and clients and complete strangers sometimes, it just made me realize that what I was really insecure and hating about myself was something that people were admiring about me. So that was kind of an interesting kind of mind shift. Hey, Teresa. Hi, Ange. And then another thing to keep in mind is you don't see yourself as others do. Like, I've had days where I look at myself in the mirror and I'm just like, oh man, I'm like chubby here. I got like rolls happening here, and I'm just like feeling like crap about my body. And then that very same day, someone will say something like, oh, have you lost weight? So it's, you know, what you're seeing quite often is very different from what other people see. And if you are already quite insecure in your body, you are probably really over exaggerating things and really seeing these things a lot worse than what other people are seeing. So something that you're focusing on, you're thinking is gross, other people aren't even seeing. So just keep that in mind, that we are our hardest critics when it comes to ourselves. We are so mean to ourselves sometimes. I mean, think about some of the things you've said to yourself in the past, especially if you've been insecure about your body, and then ask yourself, would you ever say that to your friend or a family member or your kid? And I'm going to say most likely no. You wouldn't say something that mean. So why are you saying it to yourself? So we are really, really hard on ourselves, and you just have to remind yourself that what you're seeing is not what other people are seeing. I know that's really tough. One trick I used to do, this kind of worked for me, because I was really, I was messed up with this for a long time. But what I would do is, when I looked in the full-length mirror, I would set the full-length mirror so I couldn't see my face. I could just see my body, so from here down. And for whatever reason, that helped me to kind of see my body differently. I guess because I wasn't seeing my face attached to that body, so I wasn't focusing on those same insecurities. And that helped me to kind of accept how my body was looking better. So I don't know, that worked for me, if that's something you want to try. It was interesting though, because then you're kind of looking at it with no judgment, because you're looking at a body, you're not necessarily looking at your own body. So I guess that's what the mind switch was for me. And that really helped me. I worked on that for a while, and that helped me with a lot of the insecurities that I was having. Hey Jamie, hi Hutton, hey Rob, how's it going? And then the last thing is, you have to have realistic expectations of your body. And this was a big one for me, because I always wanted to be the little skinny wispy girl who was like a size 0 or a negative size or whatever. That was what I wanted to be so badly from the time I was like 10 years old. And I wasted so much time trying to get there, and it always ended in frustration because I never got there. Even at my lowest weight, and it was quite low, I was not happy with how I looked. It still wasn't the way I wanted to look. And that's because that wasn't the structure of my body. I don't have the body type that would ever look thin and wispy. I don't have those long limbs, and I'm not tall either. So finally one day I got really honest with myself. I just looked at myself. I was like, okay, I don't have that body type. I will never be that body type. It would be like me trying to change my height. Like that would be, you know, pretty frustrating fight if you were trying to change your height. So same thing about your body type. So I finally realized, okay, my body is the type that I'm going to put on muscle easy. I'm also going to put on fat easy. So I got to, you know, do things with my diet to kind of watch that. But always going to be putting on muscle easy. So I got to learn how to love a muscular body, because that's my body type. And I finally did. It took a long time, but I finally did. I finally embraced it. I got into strength training, did really well with it, loved it, made me feel so good. And finally, I was getting the results that I was kind of expecting, because I finally accepted that I'm going to put on muscle. I'm going to be that you know, muscular, more athletic type. So when I started looking that way, I was like, okay, this is good. You know, this is what I actually kind of want now, and what I'm proud of. So, you know, getting really honest with yourself about your body type and what you can do with your body type, because you can't change your body type. So if you're like kind of short and stocky, you're never going to be, you know, tall and skinny. That's just not going to happen. So you have to learn what your best features are, and you have to work on that. For me, I know my best features are my legs. I get a lot of compliments. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna make these things, you know, muscular. I'm gonna work on that. That's something I can do. And I was happy with the results. So, you know, that was probably, yeah, that was another huge mind shift for me, actually, because that was a big fight for a long time. I had this idea in my head of how I wanted my body to look, and it wasn't what my body type is. Like, you know, there was no way I was ever going to look the way I wanted to look. So that was a good shift for me. Hey, Peggy Sue, how's it going? So those are just four things for you to think about. So, I mean, I'm hoping that you guys aren't struggling with body image, because I know it can be really miserable. I'm glad that I was finally able to get a handle on that, because that was a lot of what my depression and my anxiety was about, just because I was so miserable with myself. So changing your mind, having that shift in your mind about, what your body is and how beautiful it is, it's a huge thing. So, just remind yourself, this is your body and it's beautiful. So quit fighting with yourself, quit putting yourself down, and just, get out there and live in that beautiful body that you have. All right, so I'm gonna go and do some stuff. Nice, beautiful long weekend here. If you guys have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them, or if you want to chat more, you can message me. If you are struggling with body image, please feel free to reach out to me. I would love to talk to you about it, because I know it's a crappy thing to go through, and if I can help you with that, that would make me really, really happy, because I know how it changed my own life for the better. Hey Hutton, you always appreciate my subjects. Oh, thanks so much, Hutton. I really appreciate that. All right, guys, so have an awesome weekend, and I will talk to you again real soon.